Male enjoyers, rise and shine. It's that time of year again. Your annual dude has arrived in Tower of Fantasy, and this time it's none other than Nanto. First teased nearly a year ago in the original 5.0 trailer while farming Mad Aura, he's gone through quite a few fan theories. People thought he was an altered character because of the green effects, a vault character thanks to that lightning dragon, a frost character with his weapon named Frost Fang, or even Flame because of the blue fire in his promo art. Turns out he's actually our next physical character. Nanto serves as the navigation safety supervisor of Anchor Infinity, handling route planning and spaceship malfunction management, but that's not all. He also provides invisible clear services to corporate executives, which is a fancy way of saying he eliminates anyone who threatens Anchor Infinity's interests, no matter their status, friend or foe. And how is he related to last year's male release, Ozarada? You'll have to find out yourself in patch 5.4 when things get real dank. But enough story talk, we're here for the kid. Nanto's weapon, Frost Fang, is the mecha dragon coiled around his arm. It's a physical flame attacker weapon built for doing main DPS and main DPS alone. His damage comes from consuming aura by perfecting his fighting game style combos packed with animation cancels and attack chains. It's flashy, complex, and ridiculously fun, but we'll break that down later. For Titan stats, weakness remains his best in slot, followed by basic attack damage, then skill damage like all characters nowadays. For passives, the usual Fizz Flame passives and Resonance are here, and his guaranteed damage passive is on field, which deals extra damage as long as you hit enemies when he's on field. No other passive exists, so we can move on. Nanto's entire kit is pretty different and unique from other characters, as he's designed like a fighting game character, where all of his attacks outside of his movement kit and discharge have some way for the recovery animation to be cancelled and chained into another by using either basic attacks, hold attacks, skills, or holding the skill. Each attack can only be chained into one directly after by using that specific cancel button, so you gotta remember which part of the sequence you're in and what to press next in order to perform his combo and do maximum damage. This sounds very dank, and it is, so I won't be going into his entire kit in detail like I used to for other characters. Instead, I will show you how to use him and perform his optimal combo, and you can read the rest of his fighting character kit on your own if you want. Let's start with the simple stuff first, his movement kit. Tapping attack in midair performs a short hop up and plunges down, a very straightforward downward plunging attack that's only relevant for movement, but do note that this makes him not have any aerial combat capabilities. Next up, if you hold attack in the air, he will summon and ride his dragon for a quick and short distance forward while consuming some stamina, which can be chained up to 2 times with the limit reset after an air jump or an air dash. Very mediocre movement ability, unlike other characters that can just fly until you figure out that you can jetpack cancel the animation for insane forward momentum, completely power creeping the good old jetpack Claudia tech from launch. Since it's much easier to execute even without macros, goes much further, and comes out much faster compared to waiting for the second aerial hit with Claudia. For those that want a consistent experience, here's the Razor macro timings that I've cooked up on screen right now. Just remember that you might need to adjust the timings a little bit based on your system hardware and FPS. Now that the fun stuff is out of the way, let's talk about how to do his optimal combo. Like all Fizz characters, you want to start off with his skill, which grants him Hyper Body and gets him into his combo release state. Immediately after you press the skill, start spamming left click to attack and combo into his next 3 basic attack moves. The moment you see the spinning dragon forward charge attack, hold down left click to combo into the first part of his second subskill. Next, start spamming the skill button to combo into the second part of his second subskill. Finally, when you see the Pillar of Light and Nanto crashing down from above, that's your cue to start holding the skill button to auto combo into his first subskill, which looks like a Hadouken. And this is where your input rotation resets, and you go back to spamming left click to auto combo back into his basic attack moves. Do this rotation 3 times, ending on the crashing ground slam, and swap back to your buffing weapons and rinse and repeat. Yes, the rotation is very dank, and it does need some practice to perfect, so I suggest you go hit some cactus and learn it before trying to play him, as not doing his perfect combo rotation will not let you consume his dragon meter, which is the main source of his damage. Here's a very brain dead trick that helped me learn his rotation, so practice with me here on a cactus together. Since there's only 2 combat buttons in TOF, the skill button on one and attack button on left click, his combo is actually just alternating between the 2, and it goes like this. Start with the skill, then spam left clicks, then hold left click on the forward dragon swirl. The holding indicates a swap to the other button. When you swap, you spam the skill button. On the light pillar, hold the skill button 1, and then you swap back to left clicking. One more time. Skill, click click click, see the swirling dragon, hold the click. 111 spam, see the light pillar, hold the 1. Click click click, hold, 111, hold. click, 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 hold, 111, done. Swap and repeat. You should get it now, as you just need to pay attention to when you should start holding. Put in some practice and Fizz is back to being as brain dead as always. And that's it for his abilities. Let's move on to his stars. A 1-star effect gives him a straight Fizz damage buff, while also giving him extra 60 aura, doubling the dragon meter, boosting his damage for 2 out of 3 combo rotations instead of 1 out of 3. This is a pretty significant damage increase, but it's still just a damage increase and it isn't really required. Moving on, the 3-star effect increases the damage multiplier on his swirling dragon attack and gives him another passive stack every time he consumes 60 aura, where the stacks can be consumed by his Hadouken ability for some more damage. Again, another damage star and not required to play it. The 5-star effect is another final damage increase and a survival star that gives him healing when consuming aura and damage reduction when getting hit, up to 30%. Finally, the 6-star effect is your usual whale damage increase star, giving him a significant straight Fizz damage boost and also more than doubles his 3-star effects damage. In conclusion, his recommended stopping point stars are 0, 1, 3, or 6. None of the stars are a hard requirement, but all pretty nice to have in terms of damage. Just remember that there's no dorm unlocks at 3 since he's a dude, and also the next altered is right around the corner. Now, let's take a look at his matrices. The 2-piece set is a big increase to Fizz attack, and the exclusive effect increases the damage multiplier significantly on both hits of his second subskill. The 4-piece set is also a very simple all-elemental damage buff and an additional final damage buff when his weapon is equipped. Pretty generic Fizz matrices with decent long-term potential. Get it if you're also getting Nanto? Nothing much needs to be said. For Nanto's Simulacrum trait, he gives the usual 18% final damage like all traits and another 30% buff to Fizz if his weapon is equipped, just like the previous Claudia Stormlight trait. And conveniently, Claudia is getting benched off the team, so his trait is now the best. For relic selection, as usual, the main meta relic buff dealer should be used alongside 5-star Battle Eye Mark II as the sub-relic. For the free-to-play without Battle Pass relics, just stick to the usual Quanted Shield or Rift. Now, here's a quick demonstration of the maxed meta C-in Fizz team consisting of Aster, Void Piercer, and Nanto as the main DPS. Start on Aster as you can immediately start with a skill, and swap off into Void Piercer Discharge, then immediately use Void Piercer skill to cancel the discharge animation, then immediately swap to Nanto, jump cancelling any discharge animations, and then use his skill. Proceed to do Nanto rotation by spamming left clicks, holding the click on the swirling dragon, spamming skills, and holding the skill on the light pillar ground slam, and back to left clicking. Do this 3 times and end with the 3rd ground slam. Right at this point, Aster's cooldown should be up. Swap back to Aster, cast skill, and repeat the rotation. The same exact rotation logic applies to every other possible Fizz buffing weapon, be it Claudia Stormlight instead of Aster, since Aster's off-field damage got nerfed hard on global compared to CN, or even Anka, as Anka at least still has shred compared to Claudia. Fizz Nola can also work for the Alter mains out there trying to get into Fizz with Nanto. Just remember that the next Altered is around the corner and not to invest into any existing Altered characters anymore. Regardless, all you do is buff with the other 2 and perform the Nanto rotation until the buffing weapons cooldowns are up and repeat. But yeah, that's it for Nanto. As the new main DPS weapon for Fizz, Nanto's really changing how Fizz is played. Gone are the days of brain dead hold attack spamming from Lyra and Ganona, and the mindless left click mashing is history too. Now we've got fighting game style animation cancels, tricky, tight, and honestly kinda sick. If you want to push Fizz to the next level, you'll have to master them. Or not, if you got skill issues and plan to skip Fizz altogether. Or maybe just because he's a dude. So, what are you doing with this Fizz banner? Let me know in the comments below. That's it for this kit review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. Good luck on your pulls for Nanto, and see you in the next one.